I have spent my whole life believing that money fixes everything. If my car breaks down, I buy a new one. If I want a table at a full restaurant, I pay for it. I am used to people listening to me because of the suit I wear and the credit card in my pocket. But at 30,000 feet in the air, inside a metal tube flying over the ocean, my money was useless. My son, Leo, is 9 years old. Leo has autism. To him, the world is often too loud, too bright, and too fast. Usually, we fly on private planes where he can pace around and shout if he needs to. But today, my private jet had engine trouble, and I had to get to a meeting in London. So, we took a commercial flight. We were in first class, big seats, plenty of room. I thought it would be fine. I was wrong. About 2 hours into the flight, the turbulence started. It wasn't dangerous, just bumpy. But then the seatbelt sign made a loud ding. To you and me, that sound is nothing. To Leo, it felt like a needle poking his ear. Then the coffee machine hissed. Then a baby cried in the back. It was a storm of noise, and Leo couldn't handle it. He started to rock back and forth. Then came the humming. Then the screaming began. It wasn't the scream of a naughty child. It was the scream of someone in pure panic. He covered his ears and kicked the seat in front of him. "Leo, buddy, it's okay," I whispered, grabbing his hands. "Daddy is here." He pulled away. He was sweating, his eyes wide with terror. "Can you control your child?" A woman across the aisle snapped at me. She snapped her magazine shut. "We paid a lot of money for these seats to relax." "I am trying," I said, my voice shaking. "He has autism. Please, just give us a minute." But a minute turned into 10. The flight attendant tried to offer him a cookie, but Leo knocked it out of her hand. The whispers around us grew louder. "Bad parenting. Why bring him here? So annoying." I felt tears stinging my eyes. I am a millionaire. I run a company with 1,000 employees. But in that moment, holding my screaming son while strangers judged us, I felt like the poorest, weakest man on earth. I felt completely alone. Then, I saw a pair of worn-out sneakers stop next to my seat. I looked up. Standing there was a boy, maybe 11 or 12 years old. He was skinny and wearing a faded t-shirt that was too big for him. His jeans had patches on the knees. He clearly didn't belong in first class. He must have come from the back of the plane. "Excuse me," the flight attendant said, rushing over. "You need to go back to your seat, honey." The boy ignored her. He looked straight at Leo. He didn't look scared, and he didn't look annoyed. He looked calm. Without saying a word, the boy sat down on the floor of the aisle, right next to Leo's seat. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a piece of old, red string. It was just a thick piece of yarn, knotted in a loop. He didn't try to touch Leo. He didn't tell him to be quiet. He just started moving the string between his fingers. He made a shape. A star. Then he flattened it and made a bridge. Leo stopped kicking. His screams turned into heavy breathing. He looked down at the floor. The boy made the string into a ladder. He did it in a steady rhythm. Click, snap. Click, snap. Leo uncurled his body. He wiped his nose on his sleeve and leaned over the armrest to see better. The boy looked up and smiled, a gentle, easy smile. He held the string out to Leo. My heart stopped. I was afraid Leo would throw it. Instead, Leo's shaking fingers took the string. He tried to copy what the boy did. He couldn't do it. The boy gently reached out and guided Leo's fingers. Loop, pull tight. Leo made a shape. It was messy, but it was a shape. Leo let out a long breath. The panic was gone. For the next hour, the millionaire's son and the boy in the old clothes sat on the floor, passing a piece of red string back and forth. No words. Just connection. The cabin was silent. The lady who had complained was now pretending to sleep, looking ashamed. When the boy finally stood up to go back to his seat, I grabbed his arm gently. "Wait," I said. "Thank you. You saved me." The boy shrugged. "My little brother is like him," he said softly. "He doesn't like the noise either. Sometimes you just need something to focus on. Something simple." "What is your name?" I asked. "Sam," he said. "Sam, take this." I reached for my wallet. I wanted to give him everything inside it. Hundreds of dollars. Sam shook his head. "No thank you, sir. My mom says I shouldn't take money for helping people. It's just what you do." He walked back to the economy section, his old sneakers making no sound on the carpet. I looked at my son, who was now calmly playing with the red string, twisting it around his fingers. I looked at the expensive watch on my wrist and the luxury seats around me. I realized then that I had been poor my whole life, and I didn't even know it. That boy, Sam, with his patched jeans and empty pockets, he was the one who was truly rich. He had the kind of wealth that doesn't sit in a bank account. He had kindness. He had patience. As the plane landed, I made a promise to myself. I would find out who Sam and his mother were. Not to pay them off, but to make sure that boy had every opportunity in the world. But more than that, I promised to be more like him. I held Leo's hand as we walked off the plane. I kept the piece of red string. It is the most valuable thing I own.